Hi everyone, I'm Ivana Mladic and I lead the SMB team at Emplifi. Today I'll be speaking about increasing team efficiency and operational excellence in Emplifi. So before I actually go into the topic, I would like to introduce you to Emplifi, who we are and what we do. Many of you might not be familiar with Emplifi when I mentioned the name, but if I say social bakers, it might ring a bell. So I originally come from the background of social bakers, and at the time when I was at social bakers, we were one cloud focused on social marketing. However, we realized that there was the need for growth, and in order to be scalable, sustainable, we had to take action. So what we did, we merged with 3 other companies, which are Astute, iPerceptions, and Go In Store. And last year, in June 1st, Emplifi was born. So now we're called Emplifi. To give you a bit of background, so we're Emplifi. We are right now the leading unified CX platform built to bring marketing, care, and commerce together to help businesses close the customer experience gap. And speaking about the number of employees, so you can see here we're now 800 plus employees. We're 25 years old together in business, and we're active in, we have 18 global offices around the world. And if we look at on the product side, so we have 10 million plus social profiles that we monitor. We have 20 million plus interactions handled monthly, and we have 138 million voice of the customer data points analyzed daily. When we look at our client side, we're right now supporting 7,000 plus customers globally. And if we look at some of the brands that we're currently working with and that we have partnered up with, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with some of them. But I still want to mention that we're focused on all sizes of businesses, from small, medium to enterprise. So going back to when we actually merged and we brought 4 companies together, including social bakers, we had to look at where we stand in our sales operations. We had to make our sales work better, be adaptable to changes, and grow. And we had to sit down and really look at our key challenges that we were facing and how we were going to improve that in order to continue to grow. So we realized that there was actually a need to have a greater efficiency and productivity in the sales organization. We were really spending a lot of time on admin tasks and across multiple platforms, and that was very time consuming. So we couldn't really spend it on prospecting. We were wasting the time on the admin. So this was bringing inefficiencies and lack of process. And the key issue here was that our business development was not working in one area. All the post-prospecting activities were happening in different areas. So we had one place for emails, we had another place for calling, we had another place for cadences, and it was getting really messy. So this was very inefficient for us, right? So we couldn't really follow and gather the data in one place and put the data in one place. So things were getting lost. We had manual and time-consuming process of adding phone calls into sequences. We had admin work of feeding information to Salesforce. This was super frustrating for salespeople, doing manual work and wasting time. And we had inaccurate data as a result by manual counting and reporting. So imagine we had to take the data from the calls, we had to take the data from the emails, we had to take the data from the cadences, and then we always have to take into consideration that there's human error as well. So how were we to actually implement best practices when we really couldn't even gather properly where we stand? We had no integrated dialer, and we had no insight into the best performing sequences. This was a large issue because we had a lot of sequences. We had a lot of great content. We have very smart people in our sales organization, but how are we to implement this to everybody? How are we to implement to, let's say, less performing sales representatives and understand what really works? And last, we had limited analytics for managers. So we couldn't really analyze how we were tracking progress. We couldn't say, okay, let's look at the data from this month compared to last month, see where we did better, where we did worse, how is our progress going. So it was not a good situation. We were doing well, but we were having struggles and we had to move fast. So thankfully, we actually managed to improve our process. How did we improve our process? We used a great tool called Outreach. And Outreach really helped us improve our whole business development process, account executives, customer success managers. It's something that everybody could be integrated in. It helped us with the ease of use. So now, where we had things all over the place, we had one platform where we could add everything together. We could work from the beginning, from the inbound, to closing the business into one platform. We could measure effectiveness. So we were able to put manual tasks into predefined order, meaning that no tasks were left unattended. We improved the inbound operation process. So when you're creating the sequences and the templates, those sequences and templates need to be updated regularly. And now through this tool, we were able to do that. So nothing was being outdated. Everything we kept on building up on what we had. So we had a foundation. We're also able to have content and template storage. Now this is very important because out of all the content that we were creating, whether BDRs were creating those sequences, AEs, and so on, and there are different sequences, whether they're on verticals, whether they're on, let's say, follow-ups, anything like that, on different, basically, triggers, we could store all the data, and not only from sales, from marketing as well. We could store the data from marketing, the content, and this allowed us basically to understand what content works the best. And this way, we were able to actually do better personalization into prospecting. We also were able to generate smart KPIs usage. So this was super important because I think majority of the sales major KPIs are, how many meetings are we creating, how many opportunities, from those opportunities, how much closed business do we get. So with Outreach, through the cadences or sequences, we were able to actually define and get insight into, how many touch points did we need to have to create a meeting. How many meetings did we need to create an opportunity? And how many opportunities did we need to close business? So this was super important. And of course, it was improving the results of the sales teams. And at the same time, it was improving forecasting for managers and salespeople. And finally, the granular reporting. So we were able to get it. Now we can report daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and we can compare to previous years, previous months, and track the progress. So apart from the process improvement, we're also able to improve operationally. What I mean by that is that we were able to achieve the goal by creating a team framework. So what I mean by that is that we were able to have predefined sequence usage. And by that, we're able to plan better of, for example, when we create, let's say, a sequence, and we create that sequence based on persona or based on a vertical and so on, and an inbound comes, or even outbounding. Let's say you have a list that you have to outbound. You can plan where you want to add those accounts to which sequence, and then have a seamless process. We also had standardized and scalable actions. By actions, I mean any emails, meetings, opportunities, and so on. And very importantly, we could make data-driven follow-up decisions. So we use something called reply sentiment. And with the reply sentiment, we can define the objections. And then through the definition of the objections, we can actually properly follow up and be trained on how to follow up on those objections. We also we're able to achieve faster onboarding process. So I think this is something that a lot of companies are trying to achieve. And it's very difficult because how do you get a new salesperson and ramp them up as soon as possible? So with having all the storage of all the cadences, all the templates, there's a package ready for the new sales representative. And when they start, of course, they're going to get trained on product and all the regular activities. However, when they sit to actually pick up the phone and start calling, they already have a set of what they need to do. They don't have to start from scratch, creating emails. They know exactly how many touch points they need to have. We have also grouped those sequences regionally, so they can filter by that as well. So they have everything ready for them in order to be successful. And last but not least, we have easier integration of new products and strategies. So going back that we actually merged and now we have 3 different clouds, our prospecting has become much more diverse. And which means that we really need to move fast to changes. We're in the digital space and we're really updating our tools daily. So that means that we have to update our templates daily. And this allows us to do that. And on top of that, we have a connection to our live enablement. So our training team knows exactly what they need to train on, where the struggles are, who they need to coach more, so they don't have to come up with new training strategies. So last is the results. So what did these improvements bring us? So first of all, it brought a significantly higher number of sequences. Why is this important? Well, we have the sequences ready, but what do we do next? Before, we didn't have space to actually do A/B testing. Now we can do A/B testing, which means that we can take our sequences and our emailing and prospecting to the next level and understand even better what works. Logically, we have higher conversion to opportunities because now we know exactly the number of actions and touch points we need to do to achieve that. So our sales organization has goals that they work towards with to make them successful. Objection handling as well. So we have better enablement process. And honestly, if we look at objection handling, I don't think it's only important for the sales organization. Objections should be taken as a feedback for the company. We take it as a feedback. We look at it as opportunity. We try to understand, okay, these are objections. What are our clients trying to tell us? Where do we need to improve? So this is where we take these objections into product. We prioritize where we need to improve our product. We have easier tracking of regional differences. Now, this is a huge topic for companies that work globally because we're always saying what we can implement across the globe and have the same kind of best practice. Of course, there are things that we can do that, but at the same time, we should really take into consideration that every region is different and they will not function the same. So, for example, Brazil will never function the same as Germany. And by the differences, I mean by, let's say, subject lines, length of emails, type of content would include, it's always going to be different. But now we understand those differences, and we can integrate and implement them and understand what works better, and that way we grow. And last, by altogether of this, we have a high level now of personalization. We're really trying to get there for a long time to be able to personalize our content better, to do better, but now we're getting there. And to summarize what each kind of position got out of all these changes and improvements, when we look at the team, That means all the account executives, BDRs, customer success managers. Now they have best practices available. Now they have maintained sequences, they have updated templates, and they can continue to grow. In terms of managers, now we have granular reporting, so we can understand better where we stand and take things to the next level. We can set benchmarks, and we can give and take feedback to our sales enablement team in order to train our people better, to grow our people, to integrate those best practices. And last, marketing. So marketing is very important when it comes to sales. It works very closely together. And now marketing has content analysis. Marketing knows exactly what type of content works for our customers, what gets our customers' attention. And that's super important, because when we're allocating budgets into marketing, now we can allocate them on the right content and not throw money away. So that's all from my presentation. I hope you found it insightful and you can take something back to your companies. Thank you.